You know, farmers are really suffering right now in the United States. Farmers are suffering because of Trump's tariffs. And this was predictable because in Donald Trump's first term, the farmers suffered as well. And Trump ended up having to bail them out. Farmers are not just, I don't want to say an inconsequential industry. I don't want to pretend any industry is inconsequential. There are some that are less economically stimulative. But the point is, farmers are uniquely important in the United States. Farmers impact whether we have healthy food to eat. Farmers impact a lot of other industries because farming and growing food is then transported. It's then exported. So it relates to transportation. It relates to foreign policy and trade. And also, farming relates to national security. As I thought we learned from COVID, that our supply chains are more fragile than we would like to admit. And getting certain things like food and medications domestically, the MAGA right has said is important for national security. So farming is not, you could argue, people who work in some of these derivative financial instruments, they're making money off of money off of money. It's not really relevant in the way that food production is to national security and health and so many other things. Farming is extraordinarily relevant. The farmers are desperate. Here is video from, we're going to look at a couple of different events over the weekend. The farmers are getting crushed.
You said, I love you, Mr. Trump. I need to see the fruit of your love.
And I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on. I just would like to see somebody help us get our markets back. We need our exports, and we just need to be paid for what we do. And that's not happening.
That's right. Farmers, what a surprise, are getting crushed again. And it's just such a frustrating, I told you so moment. And I say it's frustrating because I don't get pleasure from that. I recognize the importance of farming for the American food supply, but I also don't want the farmers to suffer. And the saddest thing about it is we knew that this was going to happen because it happened during the first term. When Trump ran for his second term on just doing more of what didn't work the first term, all sorts of new industries were going to get screwed. But the people that got screwed the first time were going to get screwed too, and that was the farmers. And it's gotten so bad. Here is video of farmers praying as Donald Trump's tariffs have put some of them on the brink of bankruptcy. They are praying. I hate to tell you, the problem is the tariffs. It's not the prayer.
Until the federal government steps in to save them, farmers have no one to turn to but God.
Farmers, in my opinion, dear Lord, and it's only my opinion, are closer to thee than anyone else on this earth because we deal with your earth every day. Dear Lord, we're hurting, dear Lord. We can't help what's happened to us.
This is terrible to see. On the line, we can't help what is happening to us. This is a tragedy, and not every farmer voted for Trump, but a lot of them did. And so if you're against the nanny state, right, and it's such a messed up situation. If you're against the nanny state and you would say, hey, they chose who to vote for. They voted for the same guy that screwed them in his first term and ended up having to bail him out. Wasn't it obvious that the same thing was going to happen again? Wasn't it obvious that if they took this action, this other problem would follow? And so I have huge sympathy and respect for farmers. It's hard work. It's work we need people doing. It's not always well compensated. It relates to national security. It relates to health. It relates to transportation. It relates to feeding people. But didn't they know that this was going to happen? It happened in the first term. So let me know in a YouTube comment. Should we be doing something for the farmers? Or is that nanny state stuff the way the right would say, and they now need to sleep in the bed that they made? I don't know the answer.